on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and their head with that shit.
Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, I'm too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They say you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious man, stay inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the feel like Jeepers Creepers. Say they want some smoke, dawg. So I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even cap. These niggas don't run it like we run it, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till death do us part. So if you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, fine in. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got him mad, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told him I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dawg? Guns and butter, baby boy. U.P.K top, dawg. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that E-Line into a damn tank. I got chopper stash in the attic like they Anne Frank. They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See him throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine in. I ain't show no mercy, I'm gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the dust, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got him made, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. Said they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real.
For homicide detectives, the clock starts ticking. The moment they are called, their chance of solving a murder is cut in half if they don't get a lead within the first 48 hours.
I do anything to keep my brothers safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. You will find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. I do anything to keep my daughters safe. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. Sitting in that room, hear the interrogator's voice. They asking why I do it, I tell them I had no choice. Couldn't take a threat or a risk to my family, so throw the book at me, I take them charges happily. Ain't no need for no polygraphs or forensics. I put that fucker in a body bag, I'll admit it. Fuck a sentence or the jury that will convict me. They don't understand, it's my family, they represent me. So for them, I risk my freedom, roll the dice. I ain't got much more for you crackers, go ahead and give me life. You don't know what it's like for the people that you love. They ain't there to get salutes, they ain't there to give you hugs. The same that done pulled me from the dirt and from the mud, it's gone because of who? Yeah, I'd rather shed your blood. My brother's kids like my other kids. If you touch them, fuck around, get another bid, plus 10. Put me in the Supermax, I get super jacked, working out every day, canteen super stack, cool with that. Long as it mean my daughter's safe, my brother's winning, that's a chance I take. Still my fate. I do anything to keep my brothers safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. I got wives that done gave they all to stand beside me. Kids that can't see me fall, look at me proudly. respected by men with honor up on their names. You harm one of them, I promise that you'll see pain. I'm one West train, made an oath to uphold it. Stood with my back against the wall, never folded. Grew up in the city where the love ain't brotherly. I ain't had too many friends, I ain't need the company. I'm my father's son, so I'm cool, just don't fuck with me. I say that you my homie, you're my brother, then you stuck with me. Never turn my back on mine, it's to the dirt. You cross them across that line, I end you first. What only make it worse is loyalty hard to find. Never think cause you out of sight, you out of mind. And I don't mind dying now, cause reincarnation got me coming back. Same scars in my heart aching. Be parlaying with killers from all places. Every last one of them for me a broad day shit. So what you think, I won't do it for them? Once they let me out the cell, shit, I do it again. It's for the family. I do anything to keep my brother safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. I do anything to keep my people safe. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48.
I.S.U.P.K. Oh, and West. Babylon is falling to rise no more again. Babylon is falling. Freedom is here, my friend, not just part of the nation. Yeah, our shine never come bring peace in start of the vision. Now put your trust in the riches and wealth, contamination. Just the last statutes and commandments, we make the decision to keep them with precision. Just part of the nation. Daniel get a vision, him see the black Christ, it wasn't a white depiction. No allegiance to Rome nor its regions, come out them religion if you want be a free man. Cause the deacons them full of demons, same situation with Rasta with Islam. Only beacon of hope for your lean on is I.S.U.P.K and the GEN.YAHANNA. Every fowl of the ear, every beast of the field, every creeping thing we creep on land, every mouth of the clear, loud and clear. Yeah, our shy Mashiach is a black man who have fear, let him hear. Time to prepare, spiritually separate from Babylon. We no weak, we no fear, wheat we no tear. Bun Saddam, my bun Batty man are just part of the nation. Yeah, our shy never come bring peace in start of the vision. Now put your trust in the riches and wealth, contamination. Just the last statutes and commandments, we make the decision to keep them with precision. Just part of the nation, send evils and curses on the whole city and the beasts and all churches. America fall, them deserve it. Rome get defeat, history repeat, another first day. Hey, 400 years they work with, then desert with, then turn round and call it worthless. But now the COVID lurking, them hurting, and then the doctors and nurses. Hey, one day to your building of a turn after the long journey. No care much money you a earn if you still want Babylon burn. One day to your building of a turn after the long journey. No care much money you a earn. Hey, I just part of the mission. Yeah, our shine never come bring peace in start of the vision. No put your trust in the riches and wealth, contamination. Just the last statutes and commandments, we make the decision to keep them with precision. Just part of the mission.
We talking about practice, not a game, not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? And we talking about practice.
Best believe that I'm top 3. The only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Put me anywhere other than one that is not me. It's beef We strut a nigga block, that's chopped cheese. No peace, the butterfly sting him, that's Ali. You reach, I teach him with the handle, that's Kyrie. Machines you hook like a Roman, that's IV. You a sheep, I'm a go, it's a difference, so watch me. You weak, all hooks, no punches, so block these. They mock me, I just show them how it goes. Try to stomach this thug life. They ring got the nose, bandana on the grip. All heads coming out the foe. Connected from Cali to New York, niggas, so let it go. Made for this, nigga, I eat bars and drink flows. Thinking you woke into your third eye, peephole. Line for line, this shit too easy, it's like a free throw. Mastered the game too early, this bitch a cheat code. It ain't a game, these niggas lame, they bring a shame. If I'm with an officer, it's a number in his name. We ain't the same, you want the easy pass, tell him change his lane. Shit, I've been through the fire, you can't stand the rain, take an aim. Tell him runner, he can try his best. Drive a car named after me, that's why I'm in the vet. Laughing these niggas once again, and I ain't break a sweat. Number one at everything I do, that's why I'm one west. The Lord is not the God of the dead, so when I die, coming back for my spot, so forever I'm top 3. Just tell him to watch this, janitor with the mop stick. You gon' need a defensive lineman to block this. On point when I bomb shit, 10 for 10 I do not miss. I'm barking with a full bulldog, it is not mixed. They can see that my mind's sick, I don't write, I find shit. I don't like it, then I'll switch. If I touch it, it's diamond. Tell a bitch that I'm God sent. It ain't because my kicks is built like 5'6", 5'7" is my bitch. Dangerous, high risk, I lose it, get another one. You think I'm talking about a girl, I'm talking about another gun. Head now, hey look, it is what it is now. We don't fuck with the house niggas, we burn the crib now. I'm ahead now, and I hope they can head now. I don't care if you think it's it, nigga, I don't fear clown. Silences make it sound like raindrop, that's a quiet storm. Get the job done in the view or get fired on. If you niggas standing for nothing, what you dying for? If you put real with real, that's how I was born. Walking this bitch ready for war, I'm in riot form. I want these niggas to see me flex, that's why I am armed. I shouldn't live in the crib, nigga, I should buy a farm to go through this shit so effortless. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is, I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is, I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is, I'm not 2 and I'm not 3.
Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of those slow motion pictures, bro. One of the slow motion pictures.
You gotta shoot at 60 frames per second.
Come on,
I
They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it coast. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to bullshit. They see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my body, real niggas right beside me. Damn right, I brought my army. Going up like a rocket, and can't nobody stop me. These niggas garbage, so watch your mouth, boy. Coming all black, slithering house, call me mouth, boy. I'm off the hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow, boy. Shorty like, damn, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. That's why I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Ooh, keep on sobbing, got this bitch off the hand. Got the juice, got the drip, about to hit the bitch with the salt. It ain't rap, it's assault. Can't taste a bitch unless you with the coke. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it coast. Hey! One way, one way, one way, one way, one way. Coming up on my
I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settle and see. You locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets. It's One West. You can check the residency. I reside with soldiers died on the souls of
legend in this shit, lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third, lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all steppin', kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS, a mean right. That's mean right, we build different, you know the vibes. And we stamped it authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a cod. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with Cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoke until we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym.
They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they boss shit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move and coach shit. See me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to boss shit.
Thumb.
Thumb.
Hey, what's going on, Akim? What's going on?
Yeah. Good to go, sir. Good to go. How y'all doing?
Listen, y'all sound like y'all labor all weekend.
No, we good, man.
Yeah, man, back again Saturday night, holding down for Commander GEN.YAHANNA, hardest looking man in Israel, clap it up. You know what I mean? Definitely going to be down in DC this Monday night, 9 p.m. If you could make it, come on through. 9 p.m. at the DC school. He's going to be doing the BLACKWATCH live from DC Monday at 9 p.m. All right, right after class. You know, you're going to be down there in DC Monday, 9 p.m. You know what I mean? Okay. So what's the vibe? Again, I kind of dark vibe here. It doesn't seem like the damn view different.
A little bit compared to how it was.
Normally do.
Yeah. I think it's just because it's 3 of us, so we ain't used to having so few screens up.
Exactly. You talking about? I think it's something with because the camera looked different. It looked like longer, wider, more like a rectangle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. So what y'all feeling? What story y'all want to kick off with?
Man, let's start off with them big drug dealers, Zach.
That's what I'm talking about. You know, I know what?
Big drug dealers. Like, Negroes think they're drug dealers. We ain't drug dealers.
We far from that shit.
Nigga, you own a boat? No.
Yeah.
You own a plane? No. You own a kingdom? No.
We absolutely far, super far from that thing. Yeah, I mean, we can't even begin to understand the logistics in that and the power, because that there is a straight power move. You know what I mean? That ain't you know, that ain't just a, you know, pick up from the plug. Like that's the plug.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the absolutely ridiculous. Like them, they really, I mean, they done switch up the oil game.
Yeah.
Or they was always doing it.
I think, as like I said, I think they was always doing that. It's just now it coming to light, like everything with you know what I mean, with how America treating us, like everything coming to light because we the last days.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, so it had to come to light, like these Saudis, you know what I mean, seem like, you know what I mean, to blacks and Hispanics, like, you know what I mean, like they're good people.
Right.
But now
if I could
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I know this story we're about to get into is about Saudi Arabia and the drug trade that's going on there. But even going all the way back to the pre 9/11 days, the reason why the Taliban was such a big deal for America and for the intelligence agencies here in America is because prior to the Taliban taking over Afghanistan, the number one export out of Afghanistan was opium. A lot of those fields out there were opium fields, and a lot of the farmers out there was growing opium, and they were selling it to the West, selling it to Europe, selling it to America. But when the Taliban took over, they stopped the mass production of opium, and they started to produce other goods and services, other goods agriculturally that would be able to benefit the country and be able to benefit the people. Well, when the Taliban took over and they stopped the export of opium, of course, that interrupted the big business of drugs. Right. And so the reason why the Taliban was such a target by the CIA and the FBI and all of these agencies was because they was messing up masses' money. You know what I'm saying? You go all the way back to the days of the Iran-Contra scandal. It's been known for many years that the number one drug dealers on the planet is the oppressor here in America. You know what I'm saying? It was through the CIA, through the DEA, through all of their, alphabet organizations. They've been funneling drugs from over there in the Middle East over here to destroy our people. But when the Taliban took over and said, we don't want our country to be known for, being the ones that's producing all this opium, we want to produce other goods that'll be able to benefit the majority of our people. Of course, 9/11 happened, and now when it was shown through the documents, you know what I'm saying, these people who were on the planes from 9/11 were Saudi Arabians. Now we got to go bomb Afghanistan. Now we got to go bomb Iraq. And as soon as they went into Afghanistan and Iraq, then the following year, the production and exportation of opium was back through the roof. You know what I'm saying? So it just goes to show this is something that's been going on for many, many years. And now, when we about to read in this story, it seems like, I don't know if Saudi Arabia or somebody's taking a stance, but this is something that's been going on.
It seemed like somebody didn't want to play ball. And this is a flex because, okay, they say it's 94 million pills, methamphetamine. Listen, there's a drug addict in Kensington, PA right now, angry at this seizure right here. There's some dope head angry at this thing to not be able to come over. You know what I mean? Like somebody didn't want to play ball because I ain't, y'all could just definitely help me out here. I ain't really,
I can read it.
No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about I ain't really heard Saudi Arabia ever coming up with opium or opioids or any kind of, illicit substance before. It was usually that Afghanistan area, maybe the Libya, but I can't remember hearing about Saudi Arabia, being part of it. Please.
No. Like I said, if I could, the story is saying these drugs were seized coming into Saudi Arabia. These were not drugs that were produced in Saudi Arabia being sent out. I think the story is saying that now they starting to get the Saudis high. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, what I'm saying is I ain't never heard Saudi Arabia and drugs cut together in a big news story. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, come on, I understand.
Always other be the other, it almost like they was the clean Arabs. They was the clean, upstanding, real professional ass Arabs. You know what I mean? I never really heard about them being, involved in anything like that. And now this ain't just a small shipment. This is 94 million. This is like what what's happening with JP Morgan when they find how much cubic trillion whatever feet or cubic centimeters or whatever it is drugs on that boat. You know what I mean? Hey, what's going on, Khan?
Shalom, Yahweh, Shema Shabakathum.
And Slacky Cap, if I may too, I wouldn't be shocked if this has something to do with America leaving out of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
That's why they could just leave and up and go, because maybe they have a way of, making sure everything, stay in place.
Right.
No, if this look like they look like they're selling that. That's what I'm
saying.
This ain't looking like, they ain't
using. It look like that's up for distribution.
Yeah.
Are you talking about 94 million pills? God damn. Like, how you know the old school song where crisis is in all the crisis. I want to know where Allah in all this now opioids. Like, where is he? Where's your law? Where's your morality in this thing here? Like, this ain't no small shipment, and for sure they don't have the problem that we would have over here living under I.S.U.P.K. You know what I mean? Like that thing, they're more than likely destined, if not for Europe, but for the Americas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, you want to grab the article a little bit?
Yeah, I have it right here, sir.
Please.
So it says London and Abu Dhabi, CNN. A grisly drug-induced homicide captivated the media in Saudi Arabia this April, when a man in the country's eastern province set his family house on fire before iftar, the meal that ends the Ramadan fast.
Damn.
4 members of his family were killed. Police said he was under the influence of shabu, a methamphetamine, according to local papers. Saudi media has been sounding the alarm lately over the rise in drug use, with one columnist describing shipments of narcotics to the kingdom as an open war against us, more dangerous than any other war. On Wednesday, Saudi authorities announced the largest seizure of illicit drugs in the country's history after nearly 47 million amphetamine pills were hidden in a flour shipment and seized at a warehouse in the capital, Riyadh. The record seizure demonstrates that what experts say is Saudi Arabia's growing role as the drug capital of the Middle East, driving demand and becoming the primary destination for smugglers from Syria and Lebanon. The kingdom, they say, is one of the largest and most lucrative regional destinations for drugs, and that status is only intensifying.
Right. And that's to show you too, Cap. You understand? Like, the Lord, he trying to fight for us, because all the time, like, this what they're talking about him killing his parents. You know what I mean? We've been doing that with brothers on drugs, and nobody give a damn. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the shipment of drugs that end up in the hood. You know, you understand?
Right.
But now it happened to some Saudi family. No, you know what I mean, to make news. No, this is some big news.
Right.
You understand? The Lord using whatever device they try to put on us, the Lord bringing it back on them, just like the so-called oppressor. You understand? Like, now it's an opioid problem for him. Now it's becoming an opioid problem for the so-called Arabs.
Right.
You understand? Because they pushed that on us. You know what I mean? They made that the number one economics in the hood. Right. You understand? So now the Lord trying to fight for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with you with that, because, like I said, I ain't never heard them, and they said they now becoming the drug capital.
Yeah, that's it.
So you mean all them, you know, that United Arab Emirates, where all them Instagram hoes be going down, and them Arabs, them sheiks be defecating on them, and all kind of, they in the drug capital, where they building islands out in the sea, They not the drug capital, but Saudi Arabia, brother.
If I could, sir,
please.
The United Arab Emirates and Dubai sit on the border of Saudi Arabia. So does Syria and Lebanon on the other side of the country, right? And so Saudi Arabia is the place that has the ties with the government of America. They're the ones that's fully supported and backed and in cahoots with the American government. So it would reason that if you're somebody who's you're a European, you're going on vacation in Dubai, you're going on vacation in in the United Arab Emirates, it would be too hot for you to be bringing drugs in through that's the place where you're going. Like for instance, people who come, the drugs that come in through America. A lot of these drug peddlers, they're not shipping the drugs directly into America. They bringing the drugs into Mexico and then crossing the border with it, or they bringing the drugs into into Cuba or in the islands and trying to get it in through Miami, through the port cities. You know what I'm saying? The same thing is taking place over there in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia is a reasonable destination because that's not the place where all the tourists is coming. That's not the place where all the people who are vacationing are flying in. I guarantee you the security at the airports in Dubai and the United Arab Emirates is super tight. You're not smuggling no drugs through there. But the U.S. government can bring the drugs through Saudi Arabia and then somebody just driving over to them destinations where all the people who are coming to party and have a good time and to get high, they can be able to buy their drugs there.
Well, listen, this is all I have to say. I need the FBI to, right under the Mar-a-Lago list, put the Arab corner store, or raid the corner store, all in Detroit where all them Arabs be occupying, all in Philly. Yeah. What is the lamb over rice? The lamb over rice right at the bottom of 69th Street. I need go in there and get some pills too. Because if the Saudi Arabia, they have 94 million pills on one drug bus in one day, then I mean the network is far and wide.
Yeah.
I mean, I need them to go and kick in them doors.
The store that called the cops on what's his Michael Brown, were they Arabs?
Yep.
Something.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point too. Because they like to carry themselves as if they're so upstanding and so wholesome. You know what I mean? Like they're so wholesome and they like the example to the world and they're so benevolent. When within their society, look deeper, you're gonna see how rotten it is, how corrupt it is, and what they fashion. And you can't bring 94 trillion pills in without the government being involved. It's just that ain't happening. Please.
What you're saying is so right, Captain. Like, and we brought this out before about America's drug trade. That the drugs in America has a green card. The drugs will get a green card before a citizen, before our Mexican brothers, or before our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, our brothers and sisters in the South America. Drugs have diplomatic immunity, and it's sanctioned by all heads of state in these countries.
Yeah,
because it's a part of the market. It may not be the market on Wall Street, but it's still a market, the black market. So there's markets you can see and markets you can't see, and this is part of the market that they hide behind different things. And the drug trade is also a part of. It's involved with arms, with the arms race as well. So it's a whole network because in order to have an empire like that, you have to have arms to protect it. So they have different groups and factions in those countries that deal with this market. You understand? They may bust one or two here just for the, act like they're doing a war on crime or they making some headway. But you can imagine for every 2 million pills they seize, it's probably 500 million they don't even see.
That's right.
It's a whole different operation. You understand? And the pharmaceutical companies are a major player in this also. We told brothers years back in DC when they wanted to argue with us on the streets, about the drug market. A lot of these brothers, they wanted to be, like the kingpins or, the cats in the 80s. And we told them, your new competition is Walgreens.
Yep.
Your new competition is CVS. Your competition ain't the brother on the corner next to you.
Yeah.
That's the new plug now. You understand? You have to have a degree to be a drug dealer now, or you have to have an elected office.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or both. Or both.
That's right.
Or both, because once again, to move like this 94 million, 94 is millions, slack it, 94 million pills that they got. That ain't you know, the first time. That ain't, you know, that's this is some sort of re-up. This is replenishing, which means they done used to that thing. That thing done set up for distribution all over there. And this it's so much part of a heathen culture to be a drug addict, where this fool murder his mother and father. Is it mother and father or just the father?
Man, the whole family, about 4 of them get killed in that fire.
And this was what, right in the middle of Ramadan.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of Ramadan, he getting blasted. High, most high. Like, you know, they're talking about circling the rocks. He snorting the rocks.
That's right.
And as soon as they get a call to praise, he run in that house and, you know, spilled blood. Yeah, I mean, he make them submit. Like these religions is, you know, this is not for our people. Like, these religions have no substance in them. They don't require no sort of change for you. And if anything, they fuel your carnalism a whole lot more. Yeah. You know what I mean? And again, as you're saying, in fact, they keep coming out more and more now with the internet and the videos. Now, you know, for a while, our shame was you know, marketed to the world.
Yeah.
Our shame, our from colors to, you know, New Jack City, Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society. Our shame was marketed. Even that Sicario show, I like that movie so bad. But look at what's really targeting Issachar, the drug trade and how brutal. Like, so now the Lord has to show the heathens nakedness. You know what I mean? You got to show them heathens nakedness, and this damn year is it right here.
That's right. And the good thing is you bring that up too, because I was thinking about the black farmers. I don't know if you all remember, the black farmers was pushing to get money from the government, like the counterparts, the so-called white man. You understand? Like, the government was giving the so-called white man and them money to keep their farms running, and black people was trying to get that same amount of money to keep their farms working.
Yeah,
you understand? Running. No, you can imagine. You know what I mean? You giving brothers cornfield to work. You know what I mean? You giving them money to do this over drugs. You think they're gonna choose this? They're gonna try to work, you know what I mean, to make it, you know what I mean, a legal way. But not like black people understand the systematic oppression that America puts on us. You understand? Like, you know what I mean, ain't nobody trying to wake up in the morning selling drugs and worrying about getting killed or going to jail.
Right.
You know what I mean? Black men love the kids. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This whole, you know what I mean, portrayal, like we the drug dealers, we the, you know what I mean, like we the bad hombres.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, America been trying to, you know what I mean, make us look shameful. But now the world putting it right back on all of them. You know what I mean? All these.
So like, if I could amplify what you're saying, Captain Natha, like, it's so heavy, man, because when you look at like how they commercialize drugs now, and really to be honest, on the streets it's oversaturated anyway. They got more drugs than they can sell.
Yeah,
really, to be honest, it's so much drugs that they have out there now. I mean, every other week I'm hearing, you know, if you go fishing out in the Florida Keys or Gulfport, Mississippi, you're gonna run across, you're gonna see, it's no surprise that people see 1 or 2 kilos in the water just floating by the area. You know what I'm saying? They didn't found two incidents in Florida Keys where it's just bricks just floating on, like, I guess they just lost it. The bricks just floating on, they out there fishing out in the boat, and they see, you know, 2 kilos of marijuana, 2 kilos of cocaine wrapped up, floating.
That's the gleanings. That's the gleanings. Like, yeah,
right.
That's
right.
Basket. You gotta leave that for the poor.
Right. They had a goddamn Gulfport. He went out there fishing. He heard it was drugs out there floating around. He went back out there fishing, got the drugs, and got arrested. The police were waiting on him. You know what I'm saying? He out there fishing. He ain't fishing for fish. He was fishing for, waiting on, okay, any day now, it's noontime. Okay, they probably made a run, and it's just floating out there in the water. It's oversaturated on some levels. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, which means high competition, which means more violence.
If I could, you know, going back and read what we just read in the article, these Saudi news authorities are saying that this is a open declaration of war. Like this amount of drugs being seized and coming out of their courts, they are looking at like this is a war, which goes to show you that what has befallen us over here, the earth knows that we were conquered by our oppressor through warfare. You go back to what they did with the Native American Indians with the alcohol, the white man trading with the rum and all of those, those things. And then you go look at what they did to the black community, during the 60s and the 70s with the cocaine and with the LSD, you know what I'm saying, and eventually the crack. You go back in history, you go and read about the Opium Wars, how the British infiltrated into China. Like this is a long-standing method of operation of our oppressor. You know what I'm saying? These devils have been doing this thing for years, and now after the Saudis have gotten rich and gotten wealthy, joining themselves to this oppressor, they thought that they were immune. They thought that because they had such dealings with the white man that they wouldn't have to suffer the things that we suffer. But no, you're gonna make dealings with the devil, then you're gonna have to pay the consequences. And now the devil is putting his sights on that Middle East. They didn't allow them to build up that United Arab Emirates. They didn't allow Dubai to become a great, amazing place. Cap, you talked about all them islands that they got over there in the desert, and they built in the middle of the Gulf. You think they thought that the white man was gonna let them just live rich forever? Yeah. But they women in their ninja suits. No, the white man wants your woman butt naked on the stripper pole. Yeah. He wants everybody getting high. He wants all them princes, all them Saudi princes. It's like even stories coming out. Them bastards have been over there with so much money. They got prostitutes, whores going over there. They got whores eating feces. They got whores, having sex with animals, doing all kind of nasty stuff. So she can get $15,000 for a BBL. They thought they was just gonna live deliciously and wax great, joining themselves to the white man. They gonna find out, just like we found out, the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
It's good that the Lord bring it on and let them get destroyed, and all the Saudi princes and the kings get high. The opium, the goddamn pills reach to the kingdom, center. And as they get destroyed, this oppressor go over there, the white man go over there and try to take over. We can begin to see more and more of these prophecies come to pass, and the Most High will come visit them in the valley of Jehoshaphat and reason with all these nations about the cruelty and the evil that they've had against the Lord's chosen people, man.
Right. So can I say one thing too? Captain Sark, I don't know if y'all pulled the scripture earlier. Can I get that scripture where the Lord said that cup gonna be passed to you?
Yeah, please.
Because it's so heavy. You say that, and let this be a lesson to all our brothers and sisters out there learning, because it's these types of stories where you get your national education. And where the Bible talks about, remember, the Lord warned us about living in the flesh. And there's a certain level in life where you get, the Lord can bless you, but the Lord always reminded us, he said, when we went into the land, the promised land, our homeland, he said, beware, lest your heart, paraphrasing, lest you know what I'm saying, you get high-minded and you forgot who put you here. You can undermine a kingdom by living in the flesh, which is why the kingdom that we're fighting for is of the spirit. It's going to be manifested physically, but it's a spiritual thing. Is you have to deny yourself.
That's right.
You understand?
That's a heavy point. It's a lot.
Cut on one con, sir. Cut on one con. So
yeah,
you know
please
what I'm saying? I'm sorry.
No, I think go ahead, please continue.
Oh,
it might be okay on my end if it's a little delayed. Salaki about that.
Cut on one con, sir. Go ahead, Cap Soccer War, the dregs in the cup.
One more time. What's the scripture, sir?
The way it talks about the cup that we drink, it's gonna be passed to him, and he gonna drink the dregs of that cup.
No more will drink from the cup of affliction. Look up that one, the cup of affliction.
Con. And that's what's getting ready to happen. And notice how it's so heavy. They say they consider it a war. Why don't they consider it freedom of will?
Freedom, yes, free choice.
It's free choice. Why they can't say, well, you know what, it's free choice or free market or free market capitalism? How's that for the Saudi Arabian kingdom? Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't consider that. They consider it biochemical warfare or some kind of systematic warfare that undermines the social glue of Saudi Arabia, because you know what comes next when you a slave to a drug. You are not supposed to be a slave to a drug or anything. You're supposed to serve the Lord, not your flesh. And if you serve your flesh, everything that you have, you're gonna lose. Everything. Go ahead, Soccer.
I'm sorry, Cap. if I could, let me just put this out there real quick, right? Aziz, right? Aziz says nothing what you're telling is true. Aziz, this is what I want you to do, right? Tonight at Liberty, you know, get somebody who's reputable, and we'll bring them on, and you could tell us about the role of narcotics in, you know, the Arab world, from Islam to the Arab. I want the role of narcotics and what your people, whether it's your religion or whether it's your, you know, your social moral code, where is it written against, you know, having drug use against your culture? If what we're saying is not true, so if it's false, please have somebody who could, you know, bring one of your imams or something who could defend this thing, because as far as I can tell, your people are heathens according to the Lord and have that culture of immense carnal pleasure. And that's why you have that extensive period of Ramadan. That's why you whip yourselves with knives. That's why you do all kind of extreme devotions, because on the other side of that pendulum is extreme carnal lust and pleasure. So Aziz, if nothing what I'm saying is true, please prove me wrong. Please make me a liar. Please make me a liar and prove that rocket worshiping is true, or or else we move on. Slack it.
That's right, Cap. Damn right, damn right, Cap.
They go worship, they go smoke it. Which one, Aziz?
Right.
You gonna smoke?
They go worship, they go smoke it. Which one?
Right.
Damn right.
If I could, I got Isaiah chapter 51, verse 22. Says, thus saith thy Lord, the Lord, and thy God, that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. Verse 23. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee.
That's right.
Which have said to thy soul, bow down that we may go over.
You understand? And if I could, Soccer War, that's what these heathens done to us. They didn't say it to our soul. To say to your soul is something spiritual. And you know what I'm saying? Like, we bow down to that rock. We bow down to that crib. We bow down to all these gods and all these heathens, and they were able to build the United Arab Emirates. They were able to build those kingdoms. They were able to build America. You understand? But the Lord is going to pass that cup. And as he passes this cup to them, don't look at it as equality. Look at it as an equilibrium. Because the Lord now is going to give them what you tasted.
Yeah.
And watch how they respond. Watch the response. Now remember, when you was drinking of this cup, remember how they looked at you, looked at your condition. How they looked at you, how you digested that. Now when it comes to them, I want you to remember how they looked at you. The Lord wants you to remember how they looked at you. This is why the I.S.U.P.K is so important. When you was on drugs, it was a criminal problem. When when white people got on drugs, it became a medical issue, or some kind of issue where you had to deal with medically, not criminal on a criminal stance. They start to change the laws, and that is why the Lord is showing you these things, man. They're gonna drink of that cup, and they're gonna drink all the way down to the dregs of it. You know what I'm saying? The residue that's in that cup, they're gonna drink it. They're gonna swallow it all. I mean, the Lord, man, he's giving them a taste of their own medicine.
Because what did the Lord say about Ishmael? Ishmael is a wild man.
That's right.
Boy, Ishmael on crack and heroin.
Man,
he will burn down everything in Saudi
Arabia. Look, hey, now I thought he will sell Allah. If you give him the right kind of drug, you're gonna see. Don't be surprised that they in the streets with all their religious trinkets and they sell it to you on eBay, or they sell it. Don't be surprised. The Lord, he said he gonna famish the gods of the other nations.
That's right.
He's going to starve them. And this very thing, the very dish that he dug for you, he's going to fall. The pit, like the scriptures say, the pit that he dug for you, he's gonna fall in. You understand? Like it's a dangerous thing to oppress the Lord, the Lord's chosen people, man. We holy people, man. You can't do evil to the Lord, all 12 tribes of Israel, and you become rich and you think that you ain't gonna choke off of what you gave us.
Right.
You understand? They ain't gonna want to drink that cup. The Lord said he gonna imagine a gangster opening your mouth and making you swallow the cup.
Yep.
You ain't drinking willingly.
How Nina Brown do it?
Right.
Still that thing upside down.
Right. He opened your mouth, had an angel open your mouth, and he poured a cup down, and you got to drink it.
Yeah.
Every bit of it. That's how the Lord. That's how the Lord is, man. And glory be to the Most High for it, because now it's showing our people, man, what we experienced in the 80s, 70s, even earlier part of the 60s, man, with these drugs and things like that, man. So glory be to the Most High in Christ.
That's right.
If I could, this is a picture from Formula One racing week in United Arab Emirates on a yacht party. It's called the Yacht Charter Fleet, the rich list. Best places to party during Formula One Abu Dhabi Grand Prix race week. So okay, same thing as you're saying, like they're buying over into Esau's way of partying. So much so, these is Arabs we're looking at, those so-called Arabs, but they come and they taking on the whole culture and the face of the Europeans. So they're gonna go do the same thing he doing. They want them Percocets and them Mollies and them, all them high energy shit that make you take up glow sticks and act like a damn fool. They want all of that. You know what I mean? They want it all the way over. And Sako was saying is like the bridge. It's like, the bridge and the Starship Enterprise. Where that's who Saudi Arabia is, and they just, beaming drugs everywhere all over the place. And because of whatever incident happened, now they're trying to act like it's, we need to stop this. This is a declaration of war. It's a declaration of war because whatever deal you had with America probably went sour.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's a declaration of war. Outside of that, you was enjoying wealth from drug dealing.
That's right. Because how the hell, you could tell me, how much it is, 94 million?
94 million pills.
You telling me somebody hide it in, in a suitcase? Nah.
Right.
Then like that's a large amount. You know what I mean? Which mean somebody way up know what's going on.
Hell yeah.
They know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also too, I would like to ask Aziz to be specific on what he is saying. Like, what are we saying that is not true? Is the article we're reading not true about the amount of drugs they have in Saudi Arabia?
Right.
Like, Aziz, none of us here wrote the article, and you know that.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Also, if I could, sir, in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 2 through 5, we're told that the day of our King returning is not going to come to pass unless there come a falling away first and the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And we've been taught by, in I.S.U.P.K that our King can't return until the earth knows that the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. He is the man of sin. He is the representation of everything that is evil and against the Lord on the earth. And for years, growing up Black in America and being the children who, survived, being the children after the generation who experienced crack and growing up in that entire era. And I remember being in school with kids from these other nations, these, Arabs and East Indians and Chinese and the Edomites, and just, it was always a slight shame that they looked at us like, yeah, y'all just a bunch of, gangsters and killers and drug dealers and drug addicts. And now to see where we've come in this time, then now the white man is doing it to them. Like, we've seen drugs hit middle America. We've seen it hit the Columbines and the all of the middle class, white neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it hit in all these other demographics where these people were supposed to be above that type of lifestyle, above the getting addicted to drugs and above falling for the pitfalls that they used to say it was about poverty. And, the people that in poverty are just killing each other and they're robbing each other and they're just on drugs and they're wild. Now it's their turn.
Yeah.
Now what's gonna happen to them? Now what's gonna be an excuse? You know what I mean? Like I said, them Arabs been in our neighborhoods, man, for years with them bodegas and with them corner stores, selling us all manner of, making money off of us. Well, now that it's coming to their community, now we're gonna see, now they're gonna see what it's like to be oppressed by the white man.
So
now they're gonna see what it's like to be the target of the devil that the Bible speaks of. And all those years that they got rich off of us, all of those years that they got paid, they looked down on us and had the nerve to think that we were nothing. Now the Most High is going to show them that there's consequences and repercussions for having the audacity to look down on his people while they were being punished or while we were being attacked by this oppressor for our sins against the Lord. Now is the time for us to gather together as the Most High is visiting this earth. We gather together and be the people he called us to be, stand in his righteousness, and like Captain Kahan said, be the people who are spiritual, who are above the fleshly carnal lust. We're gonna see this whole world devolve into madness, man, and we're gonna stand with the Most High and be ruling this place when the time comes.
And so, like, if I could, look at this crap.
Ain't nothing but an Islam party.
What his name is? Aziz. I ain't gonna call it Aziz. I'm as is. That's what I'm gonna call it. As is. Not Aziz. As is. As is. I want to say one thing. You think we don't know what's going on in the streets? You think we don't talk to the street committee and we don't know what's going on in the streets? We know what's going. Let me tell you something, man. When that whole thing with Afghanistan went down, it's crazy. When that whole thing with Afghanistan went down, a lot of those people, street people, they plugs got disoriented.
Mm-hmm.
When things happen in the Middle East, certain things dry up. You know what I'm saying? In the streets. So we know that they getting suppliers. Getting supplied by foreign, these heathens. Some of these heathens are the plug. Let's keep it real.
Yep.
You understand? So don't say what we saying is not true. You understand? You got brothers in here from all walks of life, man. You know what I'm saying? You think brothers don't know that Arabs bring drugs in, or a major part of whether it's distribution or transporting or some kind of way of getting it to America through political means? You think that ain't true? You wonder how some of these campaigns be getting financed in these countries? It be through drugs. And the Lord gonna expose it. Because he been saying this, man. Commander GEN.YAHANNA been bringing this thing out for years.
Right.
You understand? You gonna say ain't nothing that we saying is the truth. Like Captain Mashak said, prove it. Bible say prove all things.
Yep.
That's what our book say. That's what this holy scriptures say. Prove it then. You understand? Prove it. I yield, sir.
What's the song? Again, the Arab money.
That's what they need the pills for. Like he getting it. I know. Okay, this is their culture. Once again, like this is only men in there. This is only men in there because, of course, the woman can't come out and show their neck or their ankle. Lord forbid, their hoes. So they need to have fun with the boys, and this is allowable to them. Instead of just letting the woman come out so they can have fun with the woman, this is them. But of course, to fully do this, you need to be high. You need to be all the way high. You know what I mean? Actually, we could get a little bit more in that article. Just the part where they talk about later down in the week, they had I think 3,000 kilogram bust of some other thing that cost $10, and it have a street value of $1 billion.
I got it. It says drug. So hold on. Okay, Captagon was originally the brand name for a medicinal product containing the synthetic stimulant phenolphthalein or phenethylene. Though it is no longer produced legally, counterfeit drugs carrying the Captagon name are regularly seized in the Middle East, according to the European Monitoring Center for Drugs and Drug Addiction. Drug busts of Captagon in Saudi Arabia and around the region have grown over time. Earlier this week, a U.S. Coast Guard boat seized 320 kilograms of amphetamine tablets and almost 3,000 kilograms of hashish worth millions of dollars from a fishing boat in the Gulf of Oman.
Right.
The
So
drug
that's
was popular.
in addition to this 47 million pills that they've seen on the screen here. You know what I mean? And it's a U.S. boat that's seasoned, not the Saudi Coast Guard. You know what I mean? So once again, this is the deal broke down somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the back of one of them clubs in the, Abu Dhabi, somebody didn't want to play ball. Somebody didn't bring enough in the suitcase. And we say, you know what? Y'all want to do this? No problem. Go ahead.
So like I said, I'm going to continue reading on the article, but just reading through this making me think this. There's also a chance that it could be Russia that's bringing these drugs in through Saudi Arabia. We read early in the article, it mentioned about how they bringing the drugs in through Syria and through Lebanon. You know what I'm saying? We know that over there in that Middle East, there's a proxy war between America and Russia. It's been for some time, with with the battles over Syria and the borders there, and it would be wise that Russia would take a page out of America's book and use use a mass influx of drugs, getting them Arabs as high as they can be to cause some instability in the region. You know what I'm saying? And that's nothing that's alluded to in the article, but just thinking about it,
it's possible. It's
for sure. It wouldn't be something I would put past either Russia or the American government. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's for sure. And it may not be to even destabilize the region. It could be that like an Iran-Contra scandal part 2022.
Yeah.
Where they using that funding to buy arms. You know what I mean? Because Russia cut off. They cut off. They need bullets. They need rockets. They need fuel. You know what I mean? So who knows? Go ahead.
Right, what you're saying is so right, Cap. Once again, that black market. Once again, when you can sanction a country, or you can have a blockade on a country, which is a military action. But when you have a black market, you have things like drugs and things that can get through the border and get through that supply and demand chain, then now you can evade. You can really survive a blockade or a sanction. Which how most of these countries, they don't just do it through cryptocurrency. They do it through illegal arms or illegal drugs, which is another way to undermine, this political stability or the political action or inaction to a country. So what you're saying is so right. It's a lot of things moving over there in that east right now. I mean, you probably can get a giraffe. You probably can get all kind of exotic animals. I mean, you go over there, bro. We get a cat. You said we can get it all. You probably get it all over there right now. You probably get. Look, I mean, with all them drugs being sold, that's enough to buy a nuclear missile. That's enough to buy a stealth bomber. $1 billion of drugs. You know what kind of arms you can. How many people you can. What kind of people you can prop up in a country with that amount of drugs coming in.
And that's
you really have a warlord. So
that's from one bust.
Bust.
This ain't a whole sting cartel with some deep plan to the agent over 6 months.
Right.
This is one shipment. They say that it sells for what, 10 or 15? What the article say, brother? It sells 10 for 15, I think, for a pop.
10. I'll get right here.
Is it
we
sold between $10 and $25 a pill.
Yeah.
10 and $25 a pill. Ooh, really high on that, brother. That's a meal and all. That's a whole half chicken of Peruvian and two 2-liter Pepsis.
And Anselak said it has a street value of up to $1.1 billion.
$1 billion, brother, in one shipment. One shipment. No. How in 2022 is lamb over rice still $7? Because these pills have a street value of $1 billion. That's how. That's how. It's been $7 since 2009. It's 95. And the Pepsi can is 50 cents. How is that happening? How is Abdul and them always able to sell it for the low? I'm gonna tell you how they're able to sell it for the low. $1.1 billion on street value on one shipment. 1.1 billion. I mean,
that's right.
What are we saying? Did they say US or euros? They
didn't say the more likely. They like to put everything in US.
I would say US because US would be the lowest one now. Just to lowball it. to lowball it, brother, $1.1 billion. Not this one with the 47, the other one, where it says 3,000 kilos or something. That's a whole separate shipment from this 47 million pills. That one is with 1.1 billion. Brother, like we really don't have a prayer without the Lord. All them Arabs buying up all the property in Detroit, all the housing in Detroit, running things everywhere they go in and getting a little piece of something. And you wondering why. This is why. This is why they have a certain amount of help that nobody will look at them as criminals. They would never look at them as criminals with all the evidence pointing to them. You know what would happen if there's some sort of black and brown, alliance, or black and brown businessmen, and they connected to $1.1 billion worth of street pills, brother. All the properties they ever owned, all the cars, all the planes, everything would be attributed to illegal activity, even if it was clean.
Right.
Even if it was clean. So now, once again, FBI, just add to the Mar-a-Lago list. Lamb over rice. Go hit all them spots.
And if I could slide, Captain, what you're saying is so right, because once that amount of drugs, once you see that amount of street value of drugs, in America they get some, some cats maybe $1 million, $2 million, some of them be a little bit more. But once you start reaching $1 billion worth of street value, it becomes political now.
Yeah.
Which is why they're saying it's a war. Because then it's okay now. This thing, and don't be surprised if some of those drugs just happen to come up missing.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised that after the ones that they seize, don't be surprised, because heads gonna roll behind this.
Yeah.
$1 billion street value. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, like, that just go to show you that this thing here, man, is a full operation, and that this whole thing has been a conspiracy against us, man. All this time, they have tried to destroy us over and over and over, and they making all kind of new synthetic drugs. They got drugs out here now that don't even show up in your urine, in your bloodstream. Some of these drugs now, which they have some high-powered scientists and things creating these drugs, man. They got drugs now that cats can take, that when they drug test you, whether hair sample, hair follicle, or urine, it don't even show up. They got it. It go past, the whole drug test thing, man. And they dangerous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the Lord is using us. The general said years back that you can't destroy a nation that has morality. And the way to beat this kingdom, our king showed us, is to have a moral compass. Be governed by the spirit, not by the flesh. Because if you govern by the flesh, everything that you have can be consumed. I yield, sir.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Them rappers better, do the tour quick, because I'm sure they're gonna stop playing rap music. They're gonna blame rap music for all the problems. They're gonna find a way to blame black people. Somehow this coming back on us. Too much of these young people listening too much of rap music. They're saying about taking drugs, popping this, popping Molly, doing this. You better go and get all the tours on quick, because that money are fitting to lock off.
Man, listen, if they even try to blame black people for this one, it would be the exact proof we need that these heathens are nothing but, they eat off of us like Ezekiel said. And they just eat off of us because they're the ones who paying big money to black entertainers going back there. Remember, Beyonce had to give the money back when she found out. I think it was a birthday party for one of Bin Laden nephews or some shit like that. They already wired the money to the broad.
Right.
And it came out that, they've been having Drake and all of them come over, and Beyonce came out and she decided, she's going to give the money back because, she's trying to protect that beehive. But, they've been paid. Remember, the LGBTQ canceled the baby. Them Arabs say, "Nah, come over here. We'll pay you." He was down there for about 4 or 5 months.
That's right.
Slacky, I think there's a story out there too where Lil Wayne was given where he was in the airport.
Yep.
And they was giving him trouble to, you know what I mean, to come out. And one of the prince, one of them high up Saudi Arabians, meet him and ask him, yo, what you drive? Where you want to drive? And he told him, I think it was a Ferrari, whatever.
One of them cars.
Lamborghini. By the time he got back to America, the Lamborghini was waiting for him.
Yep. And that was the prince who, I think they hired him to come. But the people in the airport giving Wayne trouble. The prince heard about it and dropped, you know, a whole car on him in addition to whatever they paid.
So lock it too. And Donald Trump, I think there's an article on him over there because you know he loved them Saudis. He had the presidential seal at a golf cart over there in the Saudi Arabia. Hold on, I try to think. I heard about it. Yeah, hold on. He had, aside from him having classified documents behind a padlock in Mar-a-Lago, he was over there. He had the presidential seal. It was some golf event. I can't think. It was some event he had where he was in Saudi Arabia. Now he ain't president no more. He had the presidential seal, and the politician was saying he was exploiting the presidential seal to another country. I mean, it was man. I mean, like, look, America's for sale, okay? America's for sale, all right. And like these other countries, like once again, like these heathens, they got all these riches, but they can't hold on to them. Like they starting to lose it more and more, and it's gonna go back into the hand of the Lord's chosen people. You know what I'm saying? Like that decadence, they're gonna be destroyed by their decadence, and then Christ gonna come seal the deal for sure. You know what I'm saying? But they can't hold. They have no morality whatsoever, man. Like you said, man, you gotta, you know, it's so. I thank the Lord for the I.S.U.P.K. That's all I'm gonna say, man. I just thank the Lord for the school, man, for Commander GEN.YAHANNA, all the captains, man, all the officers and troopers, man, and the sisters. I mean, I just thank the Lord for this thing, man, because it just opens our eyes up to the pitfalls of this thing we call life. You know what I'm saying? And how this whole thing is playing out, man. I mean, it's like a chess game. It's playing out all the way.
And Salaki, that yellow Geechee, you mean, and if you want to answer him or what? But you know what I mean.
I didn't see it's coming. Let me see.
Yeah, he trying to say that the Puerto Ricans and them is to blame for working with the Arabs. What are you gonna say about black people working with the white man? We all in it. You understand?
Black people is working with the Arabs too. Like,
yeah, so
that's right.
What are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like, you know, okay, this is the issue. Outside of being a drug addict or being a Christian, like we are plagued with another sickness, and it's called self-hatred.
Yep.
And the reason why Yellow Geechee is saying that is because he looks at the Hispanic community, especially the Puerto Ricans, as not himself. He don't look at them and see his arm, his elbow, his wrist, his flesh. So he to him it's a separate thing. When brother, I'm assuming Yellow Geechee is a brother. Could be some white, you know, Salakia, some oppressor perpetrating, but assuming that Yellow Geechee is a brother, like we are the same. The black and brown community is absolutely the same.
That's right.
We're absolutely the same, and it's no different than, you know, the Arabs working with the Puerto Ricans. Because why? Listen, right now, America's entertainment, the whole entertainment system, but platform is moving. It moved from black to the Hispanic community in round about the 2010s. From 2010, between 2010 and 2018, there was a lot of Hispanic movies and Hispanic, you know, cartoons for the kids being pumped, because that was the next economic base. And now you see in Hollywood moving towards the Native Indian community as the next economic base, which should let you know something, that they only feed off of the Lord's chosen people. So first, they done wring everything out of black people. The world tired of seeing Negroes right now. Tired of seeing Negroes. They casting, they're giving all the so-called black role or Negro roles to African actors from England.
Yeah.
A little tired of seeing black people, so they moved to the Hispanics. Now, because of Trump, everybody hate the Mexicans. They move into the reservation. And when they're done with the reservation, they're gonna come right back to, you know, the so-called Negro. Like, we the same people, man. We the absolutely same people, and you very misguided to try to say, you know, why you don't realize this. Like, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna blame the Boricuas for what? For bills? You know what I mean? Goddamn.
Right.
Bro, you lost beyond loss, man. Listen, whichever Puerto Rican sister break your heart, man, don't worry about it. Some sisters said no.
Right. There's some heartbreakers. You know what I'm saying?
What's the problem?
Right.
What's the problem, man? So like, get over it, man. Like, that ain't whichever Puerto Rican brother, you know, you get the woman in front of you, man. Forget that shit, man. Don't divide the nation because you ain't get some meat. You know what I mean? Goddamn. Man, let that shit go. It's actually not.
Yeah.
Right.
Let that shit go, Yalagichi, man. Let the day the Geechee is over, hell. The day the Geechee is over, boy.
Right. And so like, and he act like black people, like black people, man, we all 12 tribes work with. When you in poverty, you work with whoever to get you out of poverty, man. If you a carnal person. I mean, if the Dominicans your plug or Puerto Rican or whoever, you know what I'm saying? They doing what, like, people, we are in a state of trying to survive in this place, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, you can't sit here and blame, you know, you can't blame the Latino brothers and sisters. You can't blame them, and you can't blame our Puerto Rican brothers and sisters, or we can't be doing that, because all that is once again, we fighting over a bone.
That's right.
We two pit bulls fighting over a bone, when the man that got us fighting is our oppressor. You understand? That's a market that they gave us, you know what I'm saying, a legal market where they can pinch you whenever they want to. I said, once again, a lot of them cats from the 80s and them areas, man, they grew too powerful, which is why they pulled them after so much, because once again, some of them cats was making more than a car company a year.
Yeah.
That's how much money. So they was growing too powerful. And when their time was up, they went in and get them out the street. Okay, let's the next one. We are like forget solar power. You a solar power Negro. You a renewable source for this kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with our Hispanic brothers, our Latino brothers and sisters, man. Captain Shock just brought it out. The cycle of how they use each one of our genres or different music or different styles that we do. They just keep we're a renewable source, which is why they keep eating off of us.
Yeah.
Every so many decades. That's our life. We gotta stop with the division. You understand? We understand we in a time of division, but it's a time of dividing ourselves from the heathen and uniting ourselves with our brothers and sisters, man. Yeah, this is what the UPK is about. We're about the unification of our people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Yellow Geechee, it'd be people like you that say we a hate group, but then you hate your own Hispanic brothers and sisters, man.
And
you can't do that, man.
And just to let you know, that ain't street knowledge. That is nigga conspiracy. You're talking. Yeah. You know, that is just sit down and, you know what I mean, talk about just to blame somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, we all, you know what I mean, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we should not be selling drugs.
Right.
I mean, we should not be using drugs.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let the heathens and them, let them, you know what I mean, enjoy that. You know what I mean? Because you see what it's doing to them. And it's so what it did to us from the 60s all the way to now. You know what I mean? You see how it destroyed a generation of people and how it's still destroying generations. Come on, man.
Yep. And listen, that's with Yellow Geechee. He said he grew up, he from Rochester, New York, and he grew up with Puerto Ricans. And he's trying to say what he know. Listen, black people always sell drugs to who? Other black people.
Yeah.
The Puerto Ricans were selling drugs to black people because Puerto Ricans black.
That's right.
You understand? Like we did not start off selling drugs to everybody else. We would sell drugs to each other. You know, like once again, brother, you seeing our brothers as different, and you not looking at what the real issue is. The real issue is the heathen giving us drugs to sell, which is to separate. There's black drug dealers too, and I know you heard about Frank White. I know you heard about, what's the other one who was before him? Bumpy Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's so many brothers. Freeway Ricky Ross. God damn, come on.
So Lockett, what you said about Bumpy, and Bumpy was getting his from the Italians.
Right.
And he was the godfather of Harlem. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta, they called him the godfather of Harlem. Like, what you saying, that's why I was so happy, man, to get up there with New York with the brothers. Shout out to the headquarters up there in New York, man. Going up there to New York this past weekend, man, with the brothers, man, and hearing the general speak in Times Square. Just going to them different boroughs, man, going to the Bronx. And you see brothers and sisters hustling all night. I mean, they damn near Ubering drugs up there. I mean, they got the little moped, and they, you know what I'm saying? They going from corner. I mean, everybody is in these concrete jungles trying to survive.
Yeah.
In the Brooklyn, it's the same way up in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? In Queens, those different boroughs, man. Everybody, black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, in those concentrated areas trying to survive. And like Captain Nathak said, because they don't know no better, they're not supposed to be selling no drugs, man. We're not supposed to be doing that. You understand? So you can't sit there and say, oh, it's the Puerto Ricans. Oh, it's them. That's the easy route out. You're not looking at the big picture. You understand? You have wisdom. That's why the Bible said, oppression make a wise man mad. Oppression doesn't start from the bottom up. It starts from the top down. So don't look at the people that's on the bottom with you and blame them. You have to look at the top and understand that it's a whole, once again, systematic oppression. The UPK, a lot of people like to take credit for that, but the UPK was really bringing that out, man, and put it to the forefront of these streets, man. So what Captain Nathak, Captain Mashak, Captain Nathak, and Captain Sock Wolf saying is so right, man. Can't blame our brothers. We can't blame each other. You understand?
Yeah.
You gotta blame your oppressor. I yield.
So I can go ahead, please.
No, I just going to talk about, you know what I mean, I'm gonna get off Geechee, but he talked about, you know what I mean, about them being informant. The white man don't need you to inform on nobody. You ever hear about McAfee? You know what I mean? Go look at his documentary. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They have enough surveillance.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You on a phone, you on any type of anything, there's surveillance in you.
That's right.
I mean, they know you're doing drugs. They don't need an informant. That's just their way of, I mean, making sure you're locked up in jail when they go before the court. But they know what the hell you're doing. They don't need an informant. You know what I mean? You crying because of that. Some Puerto Ricans sell you out. Sell your partner out or whatever.
I don't even think it's that. I don't even think it's that. Listen, this is what it is. Either Yellow Geechee is a Muslim, he married to one of them nasty whole Arab women, or this is Aziz coming back to drop, some kind of, stain.
As is.
Because as is, he realized that, we talking bad. We talking the truth. I can't say we talking bad. We talking the truth about the Saudi Arabians and the Arabs and catch feelings. And now he's coming to, throw some stain on our brothers. Yellow Geechee, until further notice, either you're Arab, or it's one of them nasty, nasty, smelly Arab women, or your brother who worships Islam, and you're offended because we bringing out how the Muslims sell drugs, and Muslims been selling drugs. That shouldn't offend you. We should really separate from the Muslims, because the Muslims allow black people to sell drugs to black people. Whether you're Puerto Rican, whether you're Mexican, whether you're Jamaican, whether you're so-called Negro in America, we should separate from them. Okay, point. We should separate from them. Come on, Yellow Geechee. I know you're Muslim. I know you're as is. In the meantime, if we could switch gears before we touch on the January 6th on Trump, I wanted to get onto this story here, boy, because okay, this guy here,
him.
He was a mayor of a Maryland suburb called Hyattsville, right? I think he was a councilman later on. About 8 or 9 months ago, this dude went down somewhere in the waterfront somewhere and killed himself. He sat on a bench, killed himself. And for the life of me, reading the story, you couldn't figure out why. Of course, he's a member of the LGBTQ parade, because they say his partner survived him with 2 kids. I guess they adopted kids, blah, blah, blah. But come to find out, brother, this week they released the story that they're tracing misappropriation of funds to him through some DC KIP program, some schooling type program, where they're saying he done took $2.2 million from the program over time and bought all kind of vacation homes and all this, all that, blase, blase. They're trying to get the properties back now because he done spend the money. So I don't know if SackG, I don't know if you could pull the story.
Come on, I had a story, sir. This is in the Washington Post. Title says Maryland mayor who worked at KIP stole $2.2 million from school, prosecutors say. A Maryland mayor who died by suicide this year had been accused of embezzling millions of dollars from one of the largest charter networks in the district, according to a complaint filed by federal prosecutors. During his tenure as senior director of technology for KIP DC, Kevin Ward used $2.2 million of school funds to purchase cars, a camper, sports memorabilia, and property in West Virginia, prosecutors alleged in a civil forfeiture complaint filed Monday. Ward worked for the charter school, for the charter network from 2017 until at least July 2021, according to court records, 2 months after he was elected mayor of Hyattsville. The payments, approved and arranged by Ward, were supposed to go toward laptops, tablets, and other technology for children. Prosecutors say, however, none of the products or services for which the school system paid were ever delivered, according to court records. Officials at KIP DC, which enrolls about 7,000 students across 8 campuses in the district, said they found irregularities with certain technology purchases during a routine internal review in December. Leaders suspected fraud and contacted the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia, which launched an investigation, the school said in a statement. The school system also conducted its own review led by outside counsel and a team of forensics accountants, which found this was an isolated incident conducted by a single individual who took advantage of extraordinary circumstances during the pandemic and the individual's role as head of technology.
So now, okay. They say it is an isolated incident and there's only one person. I call BS. I call shenanigans.
Yep.
I call serious shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they've been doing this. He been doing this. This is him. He had some LGBTQ fun fitness day. You see the rainbows all over the place. And once again, these are the people who in charge and sitting over the top of us.
Mm-hmm.
And, just like a, LGBTQ member, all you care about is yourself. All you care about is your lust and fulfilling your goddamn lust. And you would go through, measures to make sure those lusts get fulfilled. Now, was he the only one buying homes? I guarantee no. But dead man tell no tales. He can't fight back now. He can't say, no, it wasn't just me.
Mm-hmm.
He done killed himself. He committed suicide about 8 or 9 months ago. 8 or 9 months ago. It's damn near like this LGBTQ, society, like whether it's, you're drug addicts like you're Brittany Griner, or you're domestic abusers and have a physical violence problem, have anger management and beating up your spouses, or you just stealing a whole rack of money from Black people. You understand? Usually whenever you see these Israelites in these positions is because they put them there to be the conduit to the Black community, because of course white people can't do it. Mm-hmm. So they want to have that Black face there, and if you are in the Black community, you have Black problems, you go to this Black mayor or whatever, and you done skim you know how much $2.2 million could have did for people?
Exactly.
If I could, sir.
Please,
sir. I'm saying what you're saying is super heavy, and we have to understand that going back to the post-civil rights movement era, those brothers and sisters at that time made a decision that instead of fighting the oppressor from the outside, that they would go and join the oppressor, and with hopes of fighting the system from the inside. That's one of the things. Talk to an old Black person, they talk about, man, you gotta fight the system from the inside, right? What them generation of Black people learned is that when you join your oppressor, you are going to turn into your oppressor. You go look at the history of black mayors, Black district attorneys, Black governors, and Black, what is this cat was the mayor of Hyattsville. When the brothers and sisters started to join our oppressor and get in these government positions and get into the politics of our oppressor, maybe they thought they was going to get in there and change something, but all they did was get in there and become the devil.
Yeah.
You understand? In this situation with this brother being over the technology department of these schools, instead of giving these kids the stuff that they needed and was required for them to be able to learn and get an education, he's just like a devil, took that money all for himself. And it makes me think about the situation that's going on in Jackson, Mississippi right now. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Officer Tazadaki at 5,000 Camp Lead over Jackson, Mississippi. Them brothers went out there to Jackson today. Now, if those of y'all that might not know, Jackson, Mississippi, for the past, been about a month now, they've been dealing with a water crisis where they don't have any running water. You understand? The storm that flooded Jackson, Mississippi exacerbated the situation. I mean, it made it way worse, but for a while now, they have not had running water. I mean, you go turn on the sink, turn on the shower, it's orange, dirty, feces-laden water coming out. Or if you got water that looks clean, it got a foul stench and there's low water pressure, right? So the brothers down there went down there in Mississippi today. I got a report from Officer Tazadaki. They handed out 48 cases of water to the people out there in Jackson, Mississippi. Alongside Christ, you understand? Get them brothers a hand. And talking to Tazadaki, he explained to me that it was sad to see that them brothers and sisters down there, for us, that's hell. You think about not being able to shower, brother, not being able to wash your hands, wash your face in the morning, not having no water to clean the dishes to be able to cook or anything like that. You go to the McDonald's, ain't no fast food restaurants because nobody in the city at all has any water.
Right.
He was saying the brothers and sisters down there was like, man, it's just another day in Jackson. This ain't no big deal for us. Like, we've been in hell. We've been oppressed. We've been not having the things that we supposed to have. And then you go and down there in Mississippi, the governor, who's a devil, of course, he has a tanker, a water tanker outside of the governor's mansion where he ain't got to worry about no water problems. He ain't got to worry about not being able to have water pumping through his house because he got water drawn from a tanker that's outside. You go on the north, the south and the east side of Mississippi where all the devils live. They got tankers in the neighborhoods that's drawing their water for them. But then you go on the north and the west side where the black people live, they got different stations. They got a National Guard out there handing people out cases of water. But guess what? For a whole family, all you get is 2 cases of water.
You know why, right? They need that money to go to Ukraine Act.
Come on.
Ukraine. They don't have that money to spend on niggas.
Come on. And I was just gonna say, prior, I believe now the mayor of Jackson, Mississippi. Now, Jackson, Mississippi is a predominantly black city, right? One of the largest black cities in the South. I believe now they might have a white mayor. I'm not sure. I had to get with Officer Tazadaki, but I know previously to this year, with the whole Donald Trump thing, they had black people in positions of power down there in Jackson, Mississippi. Where was the money to fix the water? Like, where was the money to do the due diligence of upgrading the water treatment plant? Where was the money to be able to, make sure that these government, systems was in place that was working properly so that these people wouldn't be in this position? You understand? You go back and you got to blame the Christian church because how many years have they been telling us to go vote? How many years have they been telling us to trust the system and go and become a part of the process to be able to make a change when joining the oppressor does nothing but turn you into the oppressor? And now is the time for our people to realize that nothing good can come from joining these people who have nothing, who have never intended for there to be any benefit to us. You understand? Cities like Flint, Michigan, cities like Jackson, Mississippi. You understand? I'm down here in Memphis, Tennessee. You understand? Washington, D.C. for many years was one of those cities. You have black people in positions of power, but are incapable of getting anything done because they were never put in those positions to be able to help our people out. All they were put in those positions to do was to be able to get a little bit of chunk of the pie for themselves, and to hell with the people, man. And it's an evil, disgusting thing. And only in the I.S.U.P.K. do you have righteous men who are being raised up by Commander Gen.YAHANNA to plead for the cause of God's people and to speak out about these atrocities and to provide righteous leadership so that we don't end up in situations like this. I yield. Salah.
Like if I could, that's like, as you say, them faces is really to hide the racism. That's really what it is. It's like, putting on a mask. It's like, you ever see them, those story books they have for the kids, and then they'll show you the wolf dressed up in the sheep clothing, because that's to hide the threat. That black face in the office is to hide white supremacy. So now when the water is dirty and it's poisoned, and rich is really an act of war, that's an old war tactic to poison the water of a people. You know what I mean? Or to taint the water of a people. Let me don't say poison. To taint the water of a people. And now, of course, the people are going to rise up. They're going to speak about it, but nothing would be there to say, blame the oppressor. They're going to blame themselves because they're looking at who's in charge of us, and we see a face just like us. Instead of laying the blame squarely on where it needs to be blamed, which is our oppressor and whoever sides with him. Like that whole thing with them black politicians and black leaders and mayors and stuff like that is to really hide the supremacy and make sure we remain them type of victims. Like there ain't no reason why this should happen at all, and there's no recourse for anything.
Yeah. And I don't Salaki. They're just quick on LA and
yeah, please.
But there's a I don't know if you can find it, but there's a black man out there who invented a machine.
I know what you're talking about. The one that make water from air.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they have means of, you know what I mean, they could help black people, but they do not want to. They choose not to. You know what I mean? And we had to wake up to, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, to this real quick. Like we need each other. You understand?
Yeah.
So I was just gonna say, Cap, if you go back to that video you was just playing, there was a portion of the video where they put up a timeline where they showed that this city's water system been failing since 2019. And nobody did nothing. Where was the church? Where was the pastor? Where was someone who's supposed to be the watchful eye of the people to say, hey man, what's going on with this water situation? Wait, we see what's going on up there in Flint, man. Listen, y'all gotta get on top of this. They had a boil water notice in effect since February 2021. Where you gotta boil the water because that's how dirty it is. That's how it's not getting filtrated enough. This water dirty, y'all. You gotta boil the water before you use it. In July, the water was tested for lead and copper. Where were the watchmen? Where were the black people, these politicians, and these church people who were supposed to be in a position of speaking up for our people? Why? Because they're getting all the money. They got all the influence. You understand? They supposed to be the ones that's pleading the cause for our people that's speaking up. They are not doing their job. And it's time for our people to see that this whole joining your oppressor has failed.
That's right.
And because it's failed, we need to realize that the only solution out of this hell is to turn back to the Most High and become the people He called us to be, and to follow the watchmen who've been speaking out against these things. We've been speaking about this for years, about the failing of these government systems, about the lack of reliability in these politicians and these people who are in these positions of authority, and that it was our responsibility to take back our well-being into our hands, to put our trust and our faith in the Most High, and to depend on one another and to follow the instructions that He gave us so that we could avoid being in these hells like this, man. Salute to Commander General Yohanna and all the generals and the captains and the officers, the troopers and the sisters in the I.S.U.P.K, for all of the great and amazing works that brothers are doing across this nation for the love of our people, man, and in allegiance to our King and in the righteousness of the Most High, because it is the only thing that's going to allow us to survive in this hell, man.
That's right.
So Locke, if I could, I want to amplify what you said, Captain Soccer Ward. That's once again another big shout out to Officer Tazadaki and the brothers that went down and put boots on the ground. They conducted some interviews, and some footage will be coming out shortly. But it's so heavy. Soccer Ward, could you give me that scripture where it talks about that this is not our rest and that this place is polluted? Because when you look at water, I want all you brothers and sisters out there to listen to what we're saying on the Black Watch, man. Water is considered a human right, a necessity. Something as simple as water, but so abundant in the earth that every nation should have water. Most people would agree that. But in the divided states of America, the land of the free, you have what they could call the land of the free. You have to now live in a dilapidated government which claims to represent you. in this same state, they want you to salute the flag also. They want you to salute the way where they did. They just got rid of the Confederate flag, but they still want you to salute the flag, to have allegiance to a government that can't even give you the basic necessities to life. You understand? I got a personal bone to pick with Mississippi. Right. It's been weighing on me for a long time.
Yep.
You understand? But when you look at and notice what everyone is saying about this whole thing, you have people now. You know, Mississippi is famous for one thing. It's famous for music and things like that, the birthplace of certain music genres. But it's famous for racism.
Yeah.
And even the international news is saying that Jackson, Mississippi is a majority black city. And you have people, even environmentalists, are calling this, and I quote, environmental racism. Imagine that.
Yep.
Now you have the governor that with a water tanker outside the mansion, and then those antebellum homes, which were used to be the big house where the slave master slept at, they had water tankers too. So it looks like to me that we have still segregation of water.
Yeah.
You have the colored water, and you have the water for the whites.
Yeah.
And to see, once again, if we would have stayed segregated, man, we would be better off than what we are now.
Salaki Kahan. I had a question, but it sounds like Martin Luther King dream field. But
come on, man. Come on, Captain. I thought, man, like that is, oh my goodness. What you saying? And listen, for those who out there who want to get mad at the UPK breakdown that say heaven and hell are not conditions here on the earth, where this man has made your life a living hell. I mean, even when Christ brought up the parable of the man, the rich and the poor man, even the man that was rich, he wanted a drop of water when he was in hell, in a low condition. You can't even get a drop of contaminated water. And then the Ukrainians attached to a goddamn probably spring, they probably drinking spring water from a faucet in Ukraine. And you want to talk about that we supposed to love this place? The brothers and sisters, like Captain Soccer War said on the report, it's brothers and sisters down there, they so beat down, they saying, man, this is just life. This is what they don't even have the strength to fight.
If I could, Kahan, Salakia, if you notice, okay, they have again white supremacy and blackface. The mayor Chokwe Anta Lumumba. Good night. Like so now Israel who is Salakia, Israel like they put T'Challa in charge of Mississippi, brother.
Right.
Put T'Challa like he have the Black Panther cave underneath that office. And I've been watching, as Khan talking, I'm watching, the footage. Now this is the black area, right? Wasn't no rescuing going on, these floods, but now they're showing you all the rescuing going on and all that's going on in the white area. There's no footage of rescuing going on in the black area. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Then they're gonna move to the line, that line where they're crossing that old woman.
Right.
So look at this. This is only in the white. This is for sure the white area.
Right.
If you just said Mississippi is largely what? It's more black than white.
Right.
So but all the footage is white.
That's right.
Come.
You know what, Captain? And there's an older sister on the news saying she asked a question because majority of the tax dollars are spent in white areas, which once again, this is like taxation without representation. Yeah. Now, what do you have the resources? Now, the older black woman is saying, look, they're not even giving out water on our side of the town. They giving water on the other side of the town, and we pay tax dollars. Where are our tax dollars going to? Like, which shows you are not represented properly in this kingdom. It's times like these where people are more willing. You got to remember, man, You better look in the scripture where Moses had to strike the rock for water to come out because the people were thirsty. You better read this Bible, man. God gonna break the pride of these Negroes. And I want to say this too. Like you look at these Negroes that's sitting up in power, man. Once again, that's why Christ said the greatest of you supposed to be the servant.
Yeah.
These niggas serving themselves.
Yeah.
And then wonder, like all that time, you mean to tell me, and a lot of them be knowing celebrities and all that. You can't bring some of that money in to fix a water treatment plant because they too busy get greedy, man. So can I get that scripture, my brother?
Come on, sir. Come on. Got Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction.
You understand? And this is not your rest, meaning depart, take your spirit out of this place, man. This ain't your rest. If it was your rest, you'll have clean water. You'll have the basic necessity to being a human. Brothers down there telling us, well, we don't want to be racist. Well, you don't have to be racist. Are you thirsty?
Right.
Are you thirsty? That's the question I got to you in Jackson, Mississippi. Because see, you damn near got to go to war with Negroes. Why you in a drought? Why you thirsty?
To save their life.
To save the water captain. To save your goddamn life.
Right. Like the UPK is the only place that really teaches you warfare and the art of war. Like here is where you learn that you trying to help your own people will get your hate from your people, and you're required to go to war with your people to save your people's life. Now you tell that to some, to Mayor Lumumba, that doesn't make sense to him. That he will not understand why our people would be angry and not have a whole ton of thank yous coming out their mouth. He wouldn't understand that. But in the Israelite school of UPK, because we cut from that cloth, we able to understand it. And through our leader, through who is in charge of us, we able to understand how Israel feels on a day-to-day basis. Like these politicians will get angry with the people who they had to go help because the people are angry about the oppression. And then because of that, turn their back and go to the other side.
Right.
And that's damn near what's going on here. Because like, goddamn, like what could you really say about this?
Right.
Like, you can't say nothing. Like I ain't seen footage of no black nothing.
Right.
And Salakia, like America have all the, all the resources, all the, logistics in the world to help Ukraine with all the all the arms they want, the bullets, the rockets, everything that the Ukraine wants, they could get.
That's
you understand? Right. But black people, I could get one scripture.
Please.
Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. You understand? Like
right.
We depending on America for help, brother, you're gonna wake up with water to your nostrils. You understand?
Right.
You're gonna wake up and there'll be no water for you to drink if you're dependent on him. You're trying to depend on him. You understand? Like we can't depend on them. We had to depend on each other. Where's your Jay-Z? Where's your Oprah Winfrey? You know what I mean? Where is your preacher? Where's his name?
That's right.
What's the big preacher in Mississippi?
It's tons of them. I forgot. It's a couple of them in Mississippi. They ain't like no big like mega preachers, but a lot of them is on their level. Definitely, that water money is in a Rolls Royce. You better believe that. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. And I know for a fact they have water, but the people don't. You understand? Like they you know what I mean? Like we in some, you know what I mean, we under some poor leadership, but in the UPK here, that's why under Commander GEN.YAHANNA, you have brothers who will go out there and put their life on the line to try and feed and help people.
Damn right.
son. Because you know what I mean, without that, brother, we done. You know what I mean? You better learn how to swim. You know what I mean? Do something, float, do something.
Like if I could, like this remind me of New Orleans right there. This little this little backdrop down there, and it's you know, this far in to see that, you know, America better. And when I say America, of course, I'm talking about the oppressor, but for those of our people who do follow the oppressor, we better get humble real quick, because the Lord showing the vulnerability of this place.
That's right.
Like he could starve you. He could make you die of thirst. He could bring a plague that attacks your specific sexual orientation. Like the Lord is a hitman. He's an absolute hitman. Like imagine no water, and we still, you know, summer ain't done enough. That temperature ain't getting cool.
That's right.
Like America, man, like humble down real quick, man.
That's a lot.
Humble down and know who is the real power in this place.
Damn right.
Go ahead, please.
No, what you saying is so right, Captain. Like, I mean, that's why we implore all our brothers and sisters out there to pay your tithes to the I.S.U.P.K. Because Commanding GEN.YAHANNA has sent brothers out there, Officer Tyler Doc, shout out to him and the brothers out there that gave the 48, I forgot how much cases of water to targeted specific areas where our people were at.
That's right.
Do you understand? And then you want to argue about tithes. You want to argue about donations. When these things happen, now you see where all that goes. You understand? To help our people, man. Now, I want you to remember this when you started voting, when you start voting to get next election.
Right.
Don't forget this moment. Don't forget that your elected officials failed you when it came to providing water for you.
Right.
They failed you when it came to making sure you had a water treatment plant. I bet you Ukraine got a water treatment plant right now in the middle of a war.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they're drinking. I guarantee you when they turn that faucet on, they're hooked up to some Ukrainian spring. I can almost guarantee you that. They find a way. The Bible don't lie. Where your treasure is, your heart is also. America's heart is not with you, Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian people. It's not. Because if their heart was with you, like you say, you love everybody and they love you, then you will be drinking clean water.
Yeah.
Don't, like I said, once again, Mississippi, this is for all our brothers and sisters in Mississippi. The ones that do have there's some that appreciate the I.S.U.P.K. But for the ones that don't, we ain't asking you, are you to be racist? We asking you, are you thirsty? So we asking. That's all. Are you thirsty? Because Tazadakia and the brothers came out there not to just administer water, physical water. They came out there to give you the living water also, which is the gospel. The gospel of Christ. Christ said this, those that believe on me shall never thirst.
Yeah.
He said that. Our King promised us that he's the living water. You want to get mad with the UPK? You want to get mad with the prophets? Well, this man has made your life a living hell. Now, we knew those governors and the governor and his constituents are drinking water from a water tanker outside the goddamn governor's mansion. Now, I want to ask you a question. We got a challenge for you, Black Mississippi. Go knock on the door and ask for a cup of water.
Yeah, see what happens.
See what happened. Okay, let's put it to the test. Go down to the antebellum home and ask for a cup of water. Go down there in droves and say, we need some water. Watch what happens. See, you can't see in times like these, the truth is always validated. That's what I like about this. And for you Uncle Tom niggas, there's a lot of you Uncle Toms in Mississippi. that's still hanging around and still say y'all stirring up trouble. Y'all stirring up the Mississippi ghost. Imagine that. What, did Christ come to raise the dead? So yeah, we're gonna stir up the ghost. We're gonna raise the dead. We're gonna speak the truth, man. You understand? It's a crying shame what's going on in Mississippi. They call it Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, the new Flint, man. But it's a lot of it ain't just Jackson, Mississippi. It's many cities that are dilapidated. The government is incompetent.
Yeah. If I could, Kahan.
Come, sir.
I don't want to jump in right there real quick because, you know, I'm looking up the articles as Nathan mentioned Ukraine. Like this is from, I think, April. It says water emerges as weapon of war in Ukraine and beyond. Right? That's the title. This is a Forbes article. Right? Just to gain you the credibility of the source. And further down in the article, okay, this is what it says. The basic idea of war is that it's organized violence and to use the threat of force to compel people. Right? Of course, said Matthew Smith, an associate professor of national security and political science at the University of New Haven. Because we have to drink water to survive, it's always been a weapon of war. It's always been a weapon of war. So when you see we have cities, major cities in 2022 that access to drinking water is, you know, a luxury damn near. Access to drinking water is something that, you know, is not a given, it's not a guarantee. You really had to ask yourself now, are you in a war? And that's where, again, we had to wake the hell up. Like the Saudis see drugs on coming in and they say this is an act of war. We see, you know, not having clean water coming through pipes in major cities. We ain't talking about little backwater cities. We ain't talking about in back marshland, reclaimed land. We're talking about major cities and major states in the first world country that the infrastructure is just not there to give people a basic human necessity that has been your professors, your security professors deem this as a weapon of war. Like you know, you should ask yourself, black man, like, you know, okay, am I really at war? Am I a casualty of war? Am I in a war? This is a wake-up call for you, man. This is an absolute wake-up call. Your oppressor is waging war with you and you don't even know it. He has water. You don't.
That's right.
He's watching you die slow. They say you're going to die if you don't have it. Not to talk about all these waterborne pathogens and, you know, diseases and everything else, but just not having it is a problem. Like it's high time to wake out of this sleep, man.
Damn right.
America is a vulnerable place, and we putting our trust down in Egypt, and this place can't withstand rain. This place can't withstand some heavy rain and can't protect you. And there is no course of action after the rainfall to restore what was there before. There's no course of action. There's no immediate plan. You can't tell me this is the first time Mississippi flood.
Right.
You can't tell me that. And flooding been going on all over. Kansas just had it. The Midwest just had it. You understand? Like, so you there's nothing you could have done. There's no, you know.
Right.
Which one of you so-called black states or mayors or cities where you know, whether you Lance Bottoms in Atlanta or you Bowser in DC, which one of you all put forth some federal program or federal proposal to say that brother who create the water machine,
right?
That we gonna buy some and keep them on standby because these flooding affects these areas, and we want to make sure that, you know, people have a point of access for water.
That's right.
Like, what kind of contingency plan? But again, you're worried about the Ukrainians. You bring the Afghans over here and make sure they get water.
Right.
People who parents live and die here and serve you. You know, that's crazy, bro.
So Salakia, Captain. Man, Cap, I just want to say you just dropped a nuclear bomb on Israel, man. What you brought out, like the Bible say, where there is no vision, the people perish. These so-called leaders, and like Captain Sakwa brought it out too, these religious leaders, every time something like this happens, they go into hiding. Them pastors going into hiding right now. Where was the word from God that you say you had to warn the people? And if you look in the Bible, if you look at even with Egypt with Joseph, that kingdom survived because he had appointed a man of wisdom, a man of God, to the cabinet. Among all his advisors, he was the main one that he relied upon, the main counselor, and because of him, Egypt thrived. See, the problem is with you black politicians, and we told you, we're going to have our Nicodemus moment. Some of you going to come to us by night. But we need to know this, that in order for black people, Hispanic, Native American, Indian people to survive the onslaught of all these environmental, like Captain Mashak said, a weapon of war, they weaponize water. They weaponizing food. They weaponizing all these, which is why those Greenpeace people, they calling this environmental racism. We didn't say it calling it the Greenpeace agreeing with Commander General Yohanna. They said, hold up, this environmental racism. How is it that a majority black city in like Captain Mashak said, a first world country don't have access to clean water? Explain that before you get mad with us. You understand? You want to, I mean, like, you need a man of God in your cabinet, in your circle to say, look, prepare the people for this. Prepare the people for that. Even the city of David and all those different cities that the Maccabees them set up, man, they had to set up cities, man, where the city had access to water even through a siege. They had running water, even if they was to shut the gates of the city and be locked in, they still had access to water, man. You gonna sit here and tell me that the U.P.K, that we don't know what the hell we talking about? Your governor and the mayor and the rest of them people up there don't know what the hell they talking about. They don't even know how to run a city, let alone form a city.
No, they don't.
They don't know how to do that. But I guarantee you who does. I tell you what, you want to try us? We can do the U.P.K challenge. Give us the money you've been giving them. Give us half of what you've been giving them and watch what happens. You already see what Commander General did. Commander General Yohanna sent those brothers out there to Acuna, to administer humanitarian aid through a crisis. How the U.P.K disbanded, helped disband the racist police force down in Alabama. I mean, come on, man. I mean, like like the general always say, try us with it. One of you millionaires, you send Commander General Yohanna $2 million. You put us on some of the hell. You make us soccer. We make Soccer Water fire chief. We don't worry about it. Make him the sheriff or somebody down there. We'll fix it. You know what I'm saying? We come in with a whole. They said, look, they got a whole unit. We coming in. They got a whole. All we need is to bring the resources. You know what I'm saying? The first thing I want is a tank. All right. We want 2 tanks from the National Guard. They ain't gonna be saying.
You wanting that? Listen, people will listen to it and think, okay, yeah, that's far fetched. Hell no. When Ukraine fell, they was driving them tanks through the streets like Uber.
Exactly.
Like everybody was doing, you pull out a tank and rolling through the goddamn street. Like it's coming back to that. If I could get one scripture,
come.
Let me get Wisdom of Solomon chapter 17, and if somebody could start at verse 7, just 7 and 7 and 8. 7, 8, maybe the next 2, 9 and 10 as well. But
Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 7, sir?
Yeah, 17 and start at 7. Because what's really happening? And this is not just for Mississippi. This is just America on the whole, with all these plagues and everything that's going on. Next, what else is going to happen from this? All these flooding and stuff. Without water, you can't deal with nothing with your crops. It's already flooded, so a lot of the crops is done gone. I mean, there's a lot of things you done lost. You don't have the monkeypox. You don't have the COVID that crippled. Like the Lord is putting the slowest chokehold on this place, bro. The slowest chokehold, and He is plaguing Egypt with the plagues of Egypt. You know what I mean? Please,
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, verse 7. As for the illusions of art magic, they were put down, and their vaunting in wisdom was reproved with disgrace. For they that promised to drive away terrors and troubles from a sick soul were sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at.
Now listen, that's what happened in Egypt that night, because all their magic men and all their wise men and all their scholars, they could not cure what was going on in Egypt that night. They had no cure for the plagues, for the boils, the frogs, the locusts, you know what I mean, the water being tainted. They had no cure for it because their wisdom is not the Lord's wisdom. The scriptures say wisdom is too high for a fool, and they were a foolish nation. And we under a foolish nation, and we would be foolish to follow this foolish nation into this thing. Like now the Lord is giving you signs. Now we have to start separating from this place. We have to start separating. We have to start seeking out the man of the Lord. Like Israel followed after Moses in this time. Like Israel followed after Maccabeus in the Apocrypha. Like you have to seek out and follow that man who is today commanding GEN.YAHANNA. You know what I mean? Like, because these plagues is standing up. I mean, it's standing up here like a man coming to rob you. That's how these plagues is coming, man. These plagues is coming, not to mention all these cities with this increase in violence. Now, this violence has always been around, but it just seemed like there's just a little bit more. Like the volume get turned up a little bit more over the past year or so. Like this place is coming to an end. The horseman is released. The plagues is being released on this place. And our oppressors, scholars, do not have an answer. Just like the Bible says. Keep reading, please.
Verse 9. For though no terrible thing did fear them, yet being scared with beasts that passed by and hissing of serpents, they died for fear, denying that they saw the air which could of no side be avoided.
You understand? Like normally they won't be afraid of nothing. But that when at that time when that angel of death rolled through, they there and they see in the air, and they're denying that there's something in the air, because it's not a man coming through, something going around killing everybody, and they can't see it. Like they're looking at the air and denying that there's a greater power. That's what's going on in this place, man. That's what's going on in this place. That monkeypox hit them, that LGBTQ community, and they're trying to pass it off as some mutation, when that's damn near is like a STD. Not any traditional form of a STD, like your herpes or your gonorrhea, but you getting it because you're that. If not, why are they telling the homosexuals stop having sex? Because it's passing like that. Like this place is absolutely on the brink. It's at the end. The Lord put in a slow chokehold. And if you have your trust in these scholars and trust in these people who solve America's problems, you are going to be hurt with this place, man. Please,
yeah, man, what you're saying is so heavy. That scripture bring out is so heavy also too in this way. Black people, you know what I mean, listening to this show, Hispanics and Native Indians, listening to this show, right? Most of you may have came across Sleepy Joe prime time speech, right? And it sound like a camp speaking he was doing on you know what I mean, on Donald Trump and his what do you call him, MAGA America. Come. When they are the bird, you know what I mean, they're both on the same bird. You know what I mean? Joe and what is Joe Biden and Donald Trump, they're the birds of the same feather.
Yeah,
you understand? Same feather. And black people, if you're listening to this show, we have to separate totally Hispanics and Native Indian. We have to separate, because we are going to be thinking that the MAGA is our enemy and Joe Biden is our friend, when both of them is our enemy. Because Joe Biden has the power right now to send water to Mississippi. He has the power. He just has to pick a pen up or the phone up and make a call. And he ain't doing it.
Right.
You understand? Donald Trump ain't in power. Joe Biden in power. And he tell you, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. Well, nigga, you're underwater. And you're black.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
So, Locke, if I could, Captain, I thought what you said was so heavy, man. Like, I remember, like, with there's a whole bunch of back and forth with the Democrats and Republicans. Now, the Republicans are blaming the Democrats for urban decay in these cities where there's a high rate of crime, etc. But now look at this. Now you look at Mississippi; it's ran by Republicans. So now they playing the blame game now. So one is responsible for urban decay, the other one responsible for rural decay, and it matches up exactly what the scriptures say that we're gonna be cursed in the field and in the city.
Yeah.
So why? Because of the leadership, because of these people. Once again, it's enough blame to go around to both sides of the wing on this eagle, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they both are incompetent. They both feed the coffers of these different people in these political positions. And I know the article they talked about that Argentinian president was about to be assassinated. You're gonna start to see more political upheaval going on in these countries, man, and in America. You know what I'm saying? Like America really notice after that whole January 6th thing and the current FBI threats, man. Like you haven't heard no code red or the threat level, the terroristic threat level is this color. They don't use that when it come to them. They had a white man in Mississippi that was about to crash a plane into a Walmart.
Yikes.
He had his own. This would have this way. Am I right? Soccer war. He was circling the Walmart. They owned that, tell him to come down. He said, "I'm about to crash." He was about to pull a white kamikaze in Mississippi during a water crisis. And you want to tell us something wrong with us? You can't even go to Walmart. And once again, they would find so many ways to help their people, even if it means if one of them got to die. They don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? They were Ukraine, they'll be flying in Dasani from drones. They'll be flying in Dasani water from a drone. Right there you go, right there, to fund the FBI movement. That's what's going on down here. Now remember, it was back to blue when it came to you.
Yep.
But now they want to defund the FBI, meaning they only care about justice when it's in their favor.
Yes.
Remember, Republicans taunt themselves as being law and order, a party of law and order.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump had highly classified documents, some with nuclear information, behind a padlock in Mar-a-Lago. And said it was like taking your work home, taking work home from work, or a library book that you didn't check back in, you just kept out for a little bit of time. That's what he compared it to. You understand? Like if the Lord is showing you, Captain Shock brought that scripture out, man, about us to trusting on Egypt. If you don't turn back to the Lord, man, the wicked generation gonna seek a sign. The scriptures say that. You got all this in front of you, mainly the prophets of the Lord telling you, and you still don't want to see. You still looking for the stars to align. You waiting on the age of Aquarius and all these crystals and all these seances and all this stuff, and it's right in front of your goddamn face.
That's the heavy part. And that's the heavy part. Like how the scriptures say, a wicked generation seek a sign. To the untrained and the spiritually slow, it may seem like there is no sign, so that's why they're seeking it. But you're seeking it because you can't see it.
Yeah,
you're not seeing the signs. The signs is right there, but you still looking. You still looking for nothing. You're looking and never finding anything. You know what I mean?
And so, Lucky Cap, what's so weird is you telling me a state, right, out of water, right? But America could send billions of aid and weaponry to Ukraine. And guess who again they're sending weaponry to? Taiwan. Yeah. Like, come on. So you tell me they ain't running out of bullets? Yeah. They ain't running out of bombs. They ain't running out of, you know what I mean, these things, but they run out of water for a state. For a state.
They roam all over again where now all the interest is spread so thin. Eventually, they're gonna have to decide: are they going to defend the home front? Is it really going to be homeland security, or they're going to have to, their foreign policy? They're gonna have to revise the thing because the Lord is putting everybody into that. He's playing everybody into the corners. He's playing everybody into the corners now. Now Taiwan and China have that damn near standoff. Russia and Ukraine have a standoff. Them Pakistani and Sri Lanka and East India, they're going through their turmoil right now. Everybody going through it, and it's high time for us to wake the hell up. We got to wake the hell up and start separating because this thing getting ready to go upside down. You know what I mean?
And for black people out there, that's a sign. The captains and I'm talking about all what you just speak, that those are signs.
They ain't going to hear that though. They ain't going to hear that. They'll walk past the speakings on the street. Brothers speaking on the street crying out. They say wisdom crying out in the streets. But you ain't receiving that wisdom because you ain't looking towards that. You looking towards the oppressor to save you. When salvation comes from a nigger, man.
That's right.
Salvation comes from a black man. And that's the sign the Lord putting in front of your face. Black men.
That's a lot, Captain. You know what? I mean, I might not get permission to do this, but I almost want to be able to give out water that says colored in Mississippi. Just put color. I'm almost tempted if I can get approval from the general to go out to Mississippi in droves and have water that says colored on there and see if you Uncle Tom niggas gonna drink it. Okay?
Hey,
I want to conduct it. I said, no, you ain't racist. You can't drink this are you colored? Are you Salak? I'm Salak. I may I'm going a little too far.
I don't know. Listen, I would say bring it before and have it answered. That's the reason I'd have it answered because at this point, I know Mississippi got Chinese restaurants. And they got Chinese takeouts.
Right.
I ain't seen the Chinese people complaining about water.
Yeah.
Right.
I ain't seeing the Arabs and the East Indians talking about, nothing. You know what I mean? So they're getting taken care of somehow. The Chinese Association taking care of them people.
Right.
Yeah, they ain't gonna miss a meal, they ain't gonna do nothing. Like, so, it is what it is. It's getting to where it needs to go. And where it needs to go is every man returning to his own people.
That's it.
By force or by choice or by force, man. Whether you're here or you're forbear, you are going to return to black people. You know what I mean? Whether your name is something Lumumba.
Right.
What's his name?
He changed his name to Chokwe or something. I think he
Chokwe Antar Lumumba. You know what I mean? You blackety black, but I ain't seen enough of how black you really are, brother. You know what I mean? And to every other, and this is not just for him, this is for every other black politician or black mayor or black whatever who's living deliciously while your people suffer. A lot of you all go end up like that Hyattsville mayor who killed himself and left his homosexual lover and adopted son after you done embezzle 2.2 million while your people literally starve and die of thirst. A lot of you all are going to end up outside in the cold and going to take your own life because you're not putting the Lord's people first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if we could touch on January 6th real quick, right over the time. There's been a few minutes on that J6. And we could wrap it after that. Unless you want to bring us out. I don't know. I thought you had mentioned Biden. Anything in his speech you wanted to touch on?
No, not really. It just sounds like I can't speak in. You know what I mean?
Listen, at this point, what's his name? At this point, Biden had to take whatever whatever strategy works, because he down bad in the polls.
Yeah,
that fool there, he is down bad in the polls, brother.
Right. Yeah. He better let go some of that. He better start forgiving some of that more that college debt. He better go ahead and wipe the slate clean. That's the only way I can see him come back. wipe the slate clean.
Listen, they're taking on a whole plan for Israel. Y'all heard about them Bank of America first time homeowners loans? Brother, hey, listen, I'm reading the article today. They say 2008 all over again.
With the housing Ponzi with the scheme.
Yeah, Bank of America have these loans for first-time homeowners for Black and Hispanic areas. That's who they're targeting because it's not nationwide. It's in certain cities.
Mm-hmm.
No down payment, no credit check, no closing cost, no home insurance. In other words, it's like a car scheme. Just come pick a car and drive off the lot. You're like a salesman, like one of them, you know, them slick salesmen. You look good in this. Come take this and drive up. 2008 all over again. You better get a lawyer and read them goddamn contracts.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. They better read that. They better get a lawyer.
I see the thing. I was like, what? I thought this thing was a gimmick. They said, no, Bank of America got these, you know, first-time homeowner shit. They said they're not even running your credit. I'm like, hold on. Who's smoking crack in Bank of America?
Right.
They ain't even running your credit? And this is for Black people? Oh, man, you better go get a lawyer, boy. You listen, you thought the PPP loan scheme was bad. You gonna end up with a title and a mortgage, and the house is a matchbox.
It's like going to do a business deal, and the cat you doing a business deal with just give you a blank check. Whatever amount you want on there. That means he has no intentions of paying you whatsoever, any amount.
Right.
Like you said, 2008 over again, which is them really signaling that they know the bottom has fallen out already, and there's a couple more years for us to go ahead and just dupe some more people and then dumping their money into the market so that when this bottom falls out and then we go get another bailout, we're going to get bonuses for all of these people who we signed up for these mortgages that we knew they couldn't pay. Why? Because we gave them no down payment, no closing costs, no down payment, no credit check. In 2022, after the pandemic, with all of the companies ain't paying no more money, you're gonna let Black people go and so like if I could, if it isn't for the I.S.U.P.K, brothers and sisters would think this is great, this is amazing. America's turning the other leaf finally after all the redlining and all of the the GIs coming back from World War II, not getting they not getting no government loans, you know what I'm saying, for them Black people that fought in them wars. Finally, America's giving us a leg up. Black people getting housing with no money down, no closing costs. You understand? And not even checking your credit. We're going to think it's amazing. We're going to think that finally America's showing us love. And then 2-3 years later, they're going to come take everything. Whatever little pennies you got in the bank, whatever little 401k that you have stashed away, whatever little anything, they're going to come in, they're going to flip your mattress and get the shoebox. If you think you're gonna go and get you a house and there's no consequences or repercussions, it's just free anything from the white man to let you know, stay far, far, far away. So like,
listen, I'm saying, listen, go get a lawyer. Better call Saul. Call somebody and review the fine print. Listen, they're giving away houses. Good. Go see what they're talking about. But get a lawyer. Get yourself a lawyer because you read the thing and it's like, hold up, this is 2008 all over again.
Man, you believe? I heard that. I heard about it, but I turn a blind ear to it
because it should sound too good to be true.
I'm telling you.
I thought it was one of them. Hello, my name is David. How can I help you today? I thought it was one of them scams.
Yeah.
I thought it was scam likely. But then I see the actual article and I'm like, hold on, Bank of America is piping. They're selling drugs out. They're hooked on drugs or something. They're selling houses for the low. Somebody hooked on that methamphetamine from Saudi Arabia. They're selling whatever is not nailed down to buy pills. I have a house here. Give me $5. I'll give it to you. I got some keys. God damn. Shit. Salak, yeah. So yeah, okay. I'll take me right up on the time. I don't know if we could go any further. You don't have anything on the J6? I know some of them people crying over them J6 the J6 sentencing. Somebody get 10 years this week, right?
Yeah.
Ex-cop.
Ex-NYPD cop. Good night, Irene. Like, if you don't understand who, where you really stand in this empire, you dumb bad. Ex-NYPD cop stormed the Capitol when, 6 months before he was beating you up in an alley and taking you downtown central booking so you could end up on Rikers. Like, this place has to go. You know what I mean? This place has to go. We right at the end. We absolutely at the end. You know what I mean? Like they don't get no time for murdering us in the street if he was an ex-cop. But he get 10 years for storming the Capitol. Lets you know, your life is not worth anything. The windows in the White House is worth more than your life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Go ahead. Salakia too. I'm surprised he didn't get more time than that.
Yeah.
Like they really playing with these people, man. But once again, when you in a time of war, and it's I forgot who said it's a quote where it talks about a traitor. A traitor don't wear the uniform of an enemy. A traitor wear the same uniform, represent the same flag and everything. And a traitor is more dangerous to a kingdom than anything. And that's what time we in, man. Like these people raising up and white people, like, once again, don't think that they wouldn't side with Russia or any other American enemies. You know what I'm saying? Just to overthrow America. You understand? Like, Joe Biden know that, which is why he made that speech, which is why all these investigations coming down, because they know that all this stuff right here is get ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Because these people here, these white people here in America, man, they were the threat level against the FBI and all federal buildings is at an all-time high. They're not talking about it, but I tell you, they got to defund the. I've been seeing that defund the FBI sign all throughout the South lately. They got it on their bumper stickers. They got it on, even police people have it wearing to defund the FBI. So once again, what Christ said, a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand.
Yeah.
And it's letting you know that this, I no longer call this the United States of America. You might as well put an X on some of them stars on that stripe, on that flag right there, because this divided states of America. You might well put a division sign between each one of them stripes, because there is no more union. State of the union, my black ass. Excuse my language. Ain't no more state of the union. Ain't no more union. It's every state, like Captain Shock, you said some heaven. It's Roman Empire all over again.
Yeah.
You understand?
It's
some of these.
Salaki, go ahead, please.
Come on. No, I'm sorry, Cap. Go ahead, Cap.
No, go ahead.
In some of these states and cities, man, I mean, to be honest, they are for the taking. To be honest, I mean, you see how they dilapidate. You look at what happened with Rome. The people once certain resources and things pulled back, whoever would provided those resources gained lordship.
Yeah.
Over those areas.
Yep.
That's what happened.
Yep.
The people went to the people who would take care of them. And it's clear to see America can't take care of everybody. They're not taking care of us.
That's right.
So we should take care of us. How did that sound?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We should take care of us. We should be able to put our resources together to make sure that we be able to thrive, survive, and thrive in these times, man. And it can be done. But you need righteous counsel from the I.S.U.P.K. You need to give Commander General Yohanna a call. For you brothers out there, man, join the I.S.U.P.K. You know what I'm saying? There's work to do over here. The Lord is hiring. Yeah. He's hiring right now. You understand?
There's work. There's definitely a ton of work. There's definitely
damn right.
Because this America, like, they hiding behind that flag and them 50 odd states, but really it's the 13 colonies that really running this place now.
Yeah,
and going right back to 70s, the snake running this place.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's the back to the origin.
That's
you
right.
know what I mean. So come on, Isaac, please.
No, I was going to say, because that speech was supposed to bring the so-called nation, America together.
Right.
You understand? But how Biden did it. Biden brought back that that time frame of when Lincoln, as you were saying, with the 13 states before the country went into civil war. That's why he had the red backdrop with 2 military men flanking him. You understand what I'm saying? Like they don't have time to take care of us because they fighting each other right now. Your gas price is high because they're fighting each other. Your food price is high because they're fighting each other. Crime up in the city because they are fighting each other. And it's going to be full out war in the streets of America, brothers and sisters. The Bible prophesied there's going to be another civil war.
Absolutely.
I mean, like watch this. This ain't a man that's trying to bring the country together.
Right.
Not trying to do that. He is full out on dividing it. It's almost like with in the Bible when Moses came down the mountain and he tell the people, choose you this day if you want to be on this side or on this other side right here. You understand? And he telling them it's either you're going to be with the Democrats or you're going to be with the Republicans, MAGA America.
Right.
You know what he really put it across, as you said right there. This is his answer to Trump. Like,
yes.
Remember, before Trump's campaign, the strategy for Democrats was smooth and seductive and trying to sweet talk their demographic into being loyal. But Trump came and fully embraced the racism and the separatism and the segregation. So now this is him kind of answering back tough talk, tough guy talk. You know what I mean? This is, big man thing. Like that's how he coming now. And once again, let them fight. Like, this is not our war. We don't have no interest in this war. This is high time to start separating and looking for your leader, looking for who you need to follow on this earth. And it's a black man. You get the point? That's who you need to go and follow. You better come up in here in the I.S.U.P.K and come on, GEN.YAHANNA, because, brother, Christ is he on his way back, and the Lord is putting this chokehold on this place. I don't know how much of us going to survive. You understand? When these beasts start fighting, if you in the way, you are just going to get devoured.
That's right.
You are going to get devoured. You know what I mean? Akim Salaki, we over the time. I know we started a little late, trying to get everybody 2 hours in. You know what I mean? Well, good night again. I know there's the whole Labor Day weekend. Y'all be dangerous out there. I ain't saying being safe no more. Be dangerous out there, brother. Be disciplined and dangerous out there while these fools go throw away their lives. Tuesday morning, you're going to hear all the damn. I just heard a story in D.C. this week. Some Uber driver pull up down there in D.C. to pick up 4 brothers. 4 men, Salakia. One gets in the back seat. The other one he outside the car. He puts a gun to the driver head. The driver panic and drive off. This fool shooting behind the car and hit his partner.
Oh, man.
Hit his partner. I guess the driver either drop him at the hospital or throw him out, and he handcuffed to a bed right now. They're looking for the rest of them. Like, don't listen. Separate from this place and the stupidity, man.
That's right.
Separate from this place and the ridiculousness. It's going to get bad. It's going to get worse. You know what I mean? And they're not going to have no sympathy for us. You know what I mean? So with that, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. You know what I mean? Make sure and check again, Commander GEN.YAHANNA live down there. He's going to be coming down. He's going to be in D.C. this Monday. This Monday was that September 5th. He's going to be in D.C. this Monday, September 5th at 9 p.m. holding down the BLACKWATCH right here in D.C. Make sure you don't miss it. Pay your tithes. You know what I mean? Support the truth. You know, there ain't no other way at this point. There ain't no other way at this point. You make sure you get up in there, rock this whole thing out. You know, live Monday, Commander GEN.YAHANNA going to be in D.C., 9 p.m. You know what I mean? At the D.C. school. Come check it out, BLACKWATCH. You know what I mean? And with that, we're going to be going to water again for the whole crew. You know what I mean? Captain Nat, always holding down on the side. You know what I mean? Captain you know what I mean? And Captain Sack G, always rocking with us. You know what I mean? We're going to be back next week, Saturday, Lord allow. Monday, BLACKWATCH. Don't forget at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
Shalom.
40 for the rebel, busy man shit, nigga. They take their head off, nigga.
I read what Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no hoe to lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert, another cop can stretch the nigga. He a demon, it's an exorcism, watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision, let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spin, I ain't listening, is effective. If revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jacob. So time war, we gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear him, this shit light. It ain't about who got this gun, it's about who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain frame. Shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow sign, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still about my brain, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.